Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be taking a look at Chainlink and specifically the price action of the Link token. Guys, as we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, then do go ahead and hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with all the future updates we have here for Chainlink. Right, with that said, done out of the way, let's jump into this weekly chart for Chainlink and talk about what's been going on most recently and what we could be looking forward to going forward. Now guys, I'm going to just kind of break this down really quickly, but there is no 5 impulse waves to the upside here for Chainlink. Wave 4 went too low. It actually broke the rules around Elliott theory and these impulse waves. Basically wave 4 should never go lower than wave 1's peak, so we know that there are no 5 impulse waves. I just want to get that out of the way right now. I know that obviously we are following impulse waves on many projects. It's just not happening here for Chainlink. So now we obviously know what is and what isn't, potentially on the horizon. But there is still good price action that we're going to talk about in this video. Now, on the weekly chart here, we can see that we're overbought. This is again in line with our expectations. During this kind of good push to the upside, we actually saw ourselves have this kind of correction in the middle here. This was a nice oversold area before going up and peaking nicely here in this kind of push to the upside, the significant rise in value. We were up in the overbought area. We went up into the overbought area from like 11th of January through towards the end of February before we started to lose momentum. Now we'll lose the momentum on our stochastic RSI, even though we started to actually peak up with better price, discovery, right? So the price of Link went up, although we actually lost momentum and we actually went down to the oversold area. Okay, so we were basically losing momentum even though we we're pushing up. We went into the correction and we're already almost all the way down towards our oversold area, and we were basically tracking around this area here of around that the kind of 30 area, kind of low 30s. And then we went into the oversold area. We're down in oversold status since May through to August, right? And then we started to see a good push back to the upside, good recovery, this kind of V bottom, if you will. And again, we're overbought. And again, we can be up here in this overbought area for quite some time. So again, I'm not too worried about that. Many of these altcoins that we've been talking about on the channel have been up here for several months before they start to come back down to the downside. So again, we're tracking nicely. The yellow box area down here, this is our accumulation zone for Link. This is an area that we were in very, very briefly, right? We had a couple of wicks coming down into this buy zone, and then we were out of there very, very quickly. And the yellow box area just up here, this is our 618, our 702, 786 areas. And this is where we're looking to get that closed candle to basically make a significant push back to the upside for Link. So let's jump this down into our daily. This is where we can actually take a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool. Okay, and we can see that we are approaching our yellow box area here. I'm just going to pull it back in line. It's a little bit out of sync. There we go. So we can see that obviously we are pushing up towards our 618 area. Now, guys, this is going to be a bit of a challenge for us. Because again, we can take a look at the history. We're kind of consolidating down quite nicely over here. And right now we're up against resistance. I will quickly mark this up on the chart. Let me just grab hold of my horizontal ray. So we can see that this area right here, right where we're pushing right now, although we've wicked up higher, previously this was an area of resistance where we saw rejection. Okay, so getting the momentum pushing up from here is going to be absolutely key as we go into the 618, the 702, and the 786. Again, a big battle is going to happen here. It's going to be touch and go whether or not we get rejected from the 618 or the 702 or even the 786, and we could potentially trade sideways for a while here. Now, in doing so, we would start to see a correction on our stochastic RSI. At the moment, we are overbought, like we had been overbought during this initial run. We did see the momentum drop out, right? We saw a couple of sideways trades, a little bit of a pullback right here, and taking us into the oversold area, and then we started to move back up again, back into the overbought area. So again, we can be up here for a while, but at some point we will be looking for a correction to the downside. Okay, and again, that could just be a very simple sideways trade, or maybe a little bit of percentage loss as some profits are taken, but I don't think it's going to be anything too dramatic, not in the same way that we had seen previously. Okay, so again, everything is looking pretty good as we continue the push to the upside, as we finish Q3, go into Q4 in a really strong way with the crypto space. So overall, we are obviously in this interesting area of resistance. We want to turn that. So what does the hourly tell us? Does it tell us that we are likely to push past this resistance, or are we going to basically see a bit of a downward trend? Now, right now on this hourly chart, we can see that we are starting to see this correction. We pushed up and we start to have the correction finding support on our 35 $85.36 zone. This has taken us to the oversold area. If we continue to trade sideways here, we could potentially see this momentum completely get pulled out, and then we have a good signal and push to the upside to go after the 618 area. Okay, so we throw the volumes on here. We can see good volume was coming in on our way up to the upside here, which was fantastic. And again, during these kind of corrections, we can actually see that the volumes completely dropped out a little bit. There's a little bit of growth in that volume. Otherwise, for the last couple of hours or so, we've actually seen a decrease in volume. And again, we're getting a green candle. So if we do start to see this continue to grow now, we could potentially be looking towards our 618 area, and we could be looking to try to get above that and turn that into a support line, as we have done with our $35.36 resistance, now a support line. So if that does continue, we'll be in a very good strong position here for Link, which will be taking into this battle zone. Obviously, in this area, we do anticipate there's going to be quite a bit of resistance that we're going to have to fight our way through, and it's going to be a bit of a journey to kind of see this thing through. But with that being done and out of the way, once we're above that 786 and we get this closed candle up here, preferably a weekly one, that's going to be a big bull signal, and it takes us into price discovery mode for Link here. So when we actually jump back down into our daily, knowing that we are in a pretty positive position on our hourly view, the likelihood is that we're going to continue to be overbought here in the daily and again in the weekly. So what does that mean? Well, once we get that closed candle above our 786, we'll go after the previous all-time high of $53.21. Then we go into price discovery. 1.618 of the Fibonacci extension level is $77.85. That's going to be the first target. The second target is $117.72. The third target is $157.59. And then our last final target for Chainlink comes in $182.23. This is the full 4.236 extension on the Fibonacci retracement tool. So again, that's quite a lot of progress to be made, a little bit of resistance to work our way through before we get into that kind of price discovery mode. But once we do, it's going to be quite a significant run. We can see that the percentage gains are on the table here at this point are another 417% from the current position of $35.30 all the way up to $182.23. So lots of fantastic things on the horizon here for Chainlink. And again, this isn't a project we talk too much about, and not many people tend to watch the videos on this one, but with that being said, Chainlink is absolutely critical to so many projects, specifically with DeFi, getting price feeds and real-world data on chain. So it's not a project that you can easily ignore. Obviously, I'm a huge fan as well, guys, and I think many of you know of 𝗕𝗙𝗪, another Oracle-based project who were the top validator for Chainlink for quite a stint. They decided to actually set up their own protocol, cutting out the middleman altogether and going straight to the ISPs. Now, I do like 𝗕𝗙𝗪, but I do think that Chainlink is going to be the front winner for this particular cycle. So watching Chainlink and looking at the price action of Chainlink is going to be absolutely critical if you're invested in it, and seeing the kind of growth that's going to be expected of such a powerful project like Chainlink. So guys, hopefully you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.